This is the Play Your Position podcast, where we huddle up, call the plays, and inspire you to run your ball into the end zone. Are you ready to score more game-winning touchdowns in your life, business, and career? Then listen up, because it's game time, baby. Now, here's your host, Mary Lou Kaiser.
Hey, Team PYP, Mary Lou Kaiser here. Welcome to today's solo episode of the Play Your Position podcast. In today's episode, I'm going to address a topic that is getting a lot of airplay these days and has relevance to all of us who choose to be leaders of our lives and also live a leadership lifestyle. I'm talking about artificial intelligence, alternatively known as AI, and the way it is impacting how we play our positions. It seems as if AI is everywhere you look these days. There are articles about it, podcasts about it, television shows about it, social media posts about it, blogs about it, you name it. AI is everywhere, and for good reason. You know, AI has been around for a while, but once ChatGPT was launched into the wild back in November of 2022, the conversation accelerated about AI, and it became AI this and AI that. If you've used any of the tools I'm going to talk about today, you understand what the chatter is about. These tools are truly game changers. They are powerful. They help with everything from time management to productivity to creativity. But we have to remember they are not the end all, be all either, at least for now. My focus today is on a question that one of my dear friends brought up on a recent mastermind call. I want to personally thank Vinod for posing this question because it really got me thinking. And again, I think it has relevance to all of us who are dedicated to showing up, playing our positions to the best of our ability, and embracing what's new so that we can experience different things in our lives. Here's the question that he asked. He said, what are you choosing to learn with AI versus what are you choosing to adopt to make your life more efficient, effective, productive, etc. with AI? Learning versus adopting. And there's a big difference there because we can consume information all day long and learn new things until we actually apply what we're learning, adopt a new tool into our daily practice, for example. We're not going to experience much change. We're not going to experience anything of significance anyway. That is the framing here. We can use AI certainly to learn things quickly, things like what is it like to be a child in Tibet, or what's the best casserole to take to a dinner party? Okay, these are simple questions. And in the past, we had search for this, right? Google search or whatever operating system you choose to use. Well, AI has taken search to a whole new level. If you go into any of these tools like ChatGPT or Claude AI, you can ask questions and get a whole bunch of responses. Now, we can also use these platforms or these tools to generate content for our work or our personal lives. Everything from planning a trip, can you create an itinerary for taking a road trip from North Carolina to Florida, for example? And some of the highlights I want to make sure we stop at on the way. That you can put in and boom, within seconds you have a complete itinerary. Of course, you can adjust it based on other research you've done or friends and family have put ideas into your head, but you get the point here. The truth is AI is rapidly changing everything. And the truth is, too, our brains are already overloaded with the amount of change we've been exposed to in recent years. And not only exposed to, but expected to have embraced, right? AI now in the mix at the level it is like throwing buckets of rocket fuel on an already raging bonfire. And I know sometimes it feels like my brain is a bonfire and I'm just exploding all over the place. But this is why we need to talk about it. We need to learn about it, think about it, and play with the tools so we can discuss things intelligently. It is difficult to make good decisions with limited data. So, experiencing the tools for ourselves can give us direct understanding of what's possible and what kind of impact they have on us. Now, some specific artificial intelligence tools I use or have played with include Chat GPT, Lensa AI, Claude AI, Brainstory AI, Otter AI, and Perplexity AI. I have known about Chat GPT since it first came out. I think many of you have as well. Fabulous writing tool. Claude AI is a new tool to me. I just started playing with it actually today. It's like Chat GPT, but from my initial experience, it perhaps is a bit better, a bit more accurate. Another thing about Claude AI that Chat GPT doesn't have is you can put longer form content into its, input section. Chat GPT is limited unless you have the paid version. And for people who do interviews, for example, like me, my friend DJ just did a round of interviews and she had 10 transcripts and she wanted to extrapolate the, top 5 themes from those and use AI to help her. Well, Chat GPT is limited in that respect, but I think you can do it in Claude AI. I have not personally tried that yet, so don't quote me, but it's worth checking out. Yes, you have to sign up, you have to get an account, but at this point, there is free access. All right, Lensa AI. I have talked about Lensa AI here on PYP. What this is, it's a tool that allows you to upload, at the time I used it last, up to 20 selfies. And then out of that, it will create these avatars of you. And they're strange looking. They are variations of you. They can look like you a little bit and also not like you. It's really interesting. They definitely evoke strange feelings in viewers, especially when you're looking at ones you've done of yourself. That strange feeling is known as the uncanny valley. That's a term used to describe the feeling of unease that people experience when they encounter an AI or robot that is almost human. And like I said, it is particularly strange when you're looking at how AI sees you. I did an episode about the uncanny valley and also wrote a blog post about it. I'll put a link to those in the show notes page, along with a link to all these tools I'm talking about today, because you might want to play around with them if you haven't yet. Moving on to Otter AI. Otter is OTTER, like the cute animal, the sea otters or the river otters, which I particularly love. I've been using Otter AI for several years, and it is a transcription tool. And let me tell you, it is awesome. It has saved me countless hours and money since I adopted it into my workflow. I use it to transcribe every episode I do here at PYP, as well as the audio notes I make regularly on my iPhone, because many times I'm driving and I'm thinking and I come up with ideas and I want to capture them. Well, I can't write while I'm driving. So I pull out my iPhone and open that voice memo app and boom, away we go. I've got my thoughts. I send it to myself and then put it into Otter AI and clean it up. And I've gotten a lot of good stuff from driving that way. And in the past, we didn't have a way to do that. Now we do, which is pretty cool. Okay, Brainstory AI. That's a relatively new tool on the marketplace. And a former guest, Jason Shen, is behind Brainstory. According to their website, Brainstory is an AI app based on the Socratic method of questioning. It can help you find your moments of brilliance without the slump. After I had my conversation with Jason on the show, I took Brain Story for a spin, and they have a free trial, so you can check it out. And what I experienced was seriously, it was incredible. It was like I was sitting with a really smart person who forced me to go deeper and deeper with my questions around the problem I was looking for a solution to. And what's cool about Brain Story is that it allows you to print out your results at the end of your session. And it was literally, again, talking about that bonfire, it was like I had just poured gasoline on it when I saw what this could do. And it did help me. It didn't give me the answers. It just continued to ask me questions. And I use the word force deliberately here, not in a bad way, but just in, it challenged me to not give up as soon as perhaps in the past I might have. I suspect, I was going to talk about, before I go on to this, perplexity.ai is another tool I was just introduced to as well. And it is search at a whole new level. Check it out for yourself. Take these for a spin. Decide if they have a place in your workflow or not. But I suspect more tools are coming out every day, far more than I have time to get into, and certainly far more than I'm even aware of. And I'm going to put this out. If you know of some AI tools that are helping you in any way, feel free to shoot me something on LinkedIn or DM me on Instagram. You can also connect with me on maryloukaser.com. There's a contact form on there. You can say, hey, listen, I was listening to your episode and here are some tools. If you know my personal email or you have my personal phone number, you can text me or email me. And I would love to know what you're using. The big point I want to emphasize today is twofold. And before I share those, the two parts of the point, I want you to know that I make these episodes as much for myself as I do for you guys, because I am learning right along with everybody else. And if I can impart something that adds to your life or gives you a new tool to make your workflow faster, easier, more differentiated, whatever it may be, then that's a good thing, right? We're all here for each other anymore. We have to rely on the communities that we build. And I love Team PYP. You guys you're out there, you're living your lives, and you have questions just like the rest of us. So these are the two parts of the big point. Number one, it's important. It's so important that we all pay attention to the AI landscape, because it is shaping the way we work. It is shaping the way we think. Even if we aren't consciously aware of how much it is impacting us, it is. And number two, going back to that question I started with, what are you using AI to learn versus what AI tools are you adopting to make your work and life easier, faster, more productive, more creative, etc.? Knowing the difference between learning and adopting, that's the key. The world is not what it once was. The way we play our positions is changing. And if you've been listening to this show for any length of time, you have heard me have detailed, in-depth conversations with highly intelligent people on the forefront of big changes. I'm going to highlight a couple of them here, and I'm going to put links to their episodes in the show notes page. I'm talking about people like Brigida Panuski and Jason Shen, who I mentioned earlier with Brain Story, and Tony Wall and Dirk Van Reenen, futurists who see what's coming and the impact of what's coming, what it may have on all of us. I'm of the mind to embrace change, to learn about what's going on and not run away or hide from it or pretend like it isn't happening. I've done that in my life and it doesn't work out too well, okay? I'm of the mind that we use the changes to become more aware of who we are meant to be. We owe it to ourselves. We owe it to our families, our communities, and the world to pay attention to what's happening. AI is here. It's powerful. It has the potential to improve our way of life in many ways. And if left unchecked or ignored, it also has the potential to do tremendous harm. Ultimately, team, you get to decide how much or how little you invest in AI. I suspect if you listen to PYP, you are of the mind to stay ahead of the curve and make sound decisions for yourself. That's what playing your position comes down to at the end of the day, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Self-awareness, guys, it is at the center of it all, and AI is no different. It's here, and the more we can learn about it, understand it, use it, the better off we'll be. So thanks for sharing some time with me today. Remember, team, it is always a great day to get out there and play your position. This is Mary Lou Kaiser. I've got some great conversations ready to drop very, very soon. Keep an eye out for those. And in the meantime, enjoy your day. Play around with some of these tools that I mentioned and see what you can do. All right? Catch you next time.
Here at the Play Your Position podcast, we believe that the road to self-mastery and a life well lived starts with answering the call to leadership. That's when the fun really begins. Send this episode to any friends who might need to hear the inspiration and ideas you heard today. And feel free to rate and review us on your favorite podcast platform.